when the battle's lost and won.
That will be ere the set of sun.
Where the place?
Upon the heath.
There to meet with Macbeth.
I come, Grey Malkin.
Paddock calls.
Anon!
Fair is foul and foul is fair. Hover through the fog and filthy air.
Fair is foul.
Fair is foul
Fair
and
is
foul and foul. Hover through the fog.
Seemeth by his plight of the revolt, the newest state.
This is the sergeant, who like a good and hardy soldier fought against my captivity. Hail, brave friend, say to the king the knowledge of the broil as thou didst leave it. Doubtful it stood, as two spent swimmers that do cling together and choke their art. The merciless MacDonald from the Western Isles, with fortune on his damned quarry smiling, showed like a rebel's whore, but all still weak. For brave Macbeth, well, he deserves that name, disdaining fortune with his brandished steel, carved out his passage till he faced the slave, unseamed him from the nave to the chops, and fixed his head upon our battlements.
Valiant cousin, worthy gentleman.
Mark, King of Scotland, Mark. No sooner justice had, with valour armed, compelled these skipping kerns to trust their heels, but the Norwegian lord, surveying vantage, began a fresh assault.
Dismayed not this our captains Macbeth and Banquo?
Aye, as sparrows, eagles, or the hare the lion. If I say sooth, I must report they were as cannons, o'ercharged with double cracks, so they doubly redoubled strokes upon the foe. But I'm faint, my gases cry for help.
So well thy words become thee, as thy wounds they smack of honour both. Go, get you to our sergeant. Who comes here?
The worthy Thane of Ross.
Ah, what a haste looks through his eyes. So should he look that seems to speak things strange.
God save the king.
Whence comest thou, worthy Thane?
From Fife, great king, where Norwegian banners float the sky, fanning our people cold. Norway himself, with terrible numbers, assisted by that most disloyal traitor, the Thane of Cawdor, began a dismal conflict, till that Bellona's bridegroom, lapped in proof, confronted him with self-comparisons, point against point, rebellious arm against arm, and, to conclude, the victory fell on us.
No more that Thane of Cawdor shall deceive our bosom interest. Go, pronounce his present death, and with his former title, greet Macbeth.
I will see it done.
What he hath lost, noble Macbeth hath won.
The weird sisters, hand in hand, posters of the sea and land. Thus to go about, thrice is thine and thrice is mine.
And thrice again to make up 9. Peace!
The charms wound up.
A drum! A drum! Macbeth doth come!
So foul and clear a day I have not seen. How far is it called the forest? What are these? So withered and so wild in their attire would look not like the inhabitants of the earth, and yet are on. Live you? Or are you all that man may question? You seem to understand. by each at once your choppy fingers lay upon your skinny lips. Ha! You should be women, yet your beards do forbid me to interpret that you are so.
Speak if you can. What are you?
Hail to thee, hail Macbeth, thane of Glam.
Hail to thee, Thane of Cawdor.
Oh, hail Macbeth, thou shalt be king hereafter.
Good sir, why do you start and seem to fear things that do sound so fair? In the name of truth, are ye fantastical, or are ye aught that men may question? My noble partner, you greet with pleasant grace and great behavior, of noble having and of royal hope, that he seems wrapped withal, yet to me you speak not. If you can look into the seeds of time and say which grain will grow and which will not, speak then to me. You neither beg nor fear your favors nor your hate.
Hail!
Hail! Hail!
Lesser than Macbeth, but greater. Not so happy, yet much happier.
Thou shalt get kings. Yes, thou know. So all hail Macbeth and Banquo.
Banquo and Macbeth all hail.
Stay, you imperfect speakers. Tell me more. By Finlay's death, I know I am Thane of Glamis. But how of Cawdor? Thane of Cawdor lives. The king stands not within the prospect of belief, no more than to be Cawdor. Say from whence you owe this strange intelligence, or why upon this blasted heath you stop our way with such prophetic greetings. Speak, I charge you! The earth hath bubbles as the water hath, and these are made of them. Whither have they vanished? Into the air. What seemed corporal melted like breath into the wind. Would they had stopped. And these things here that we can speak about, or have we eaten on the insane root that takes the reason from prison? Your children shall be kings. You shall be king. And Thane of Cawdor too, went it not so. For the self-same tune and word. Who's that?
The king hath happily received, Macbeth, the news of thy success. As thick as hail came post with post, and everyone did bear thy praises of his kingdom's great defence. And it rained down before them. And in earnest of a greater honour, the king bade me from him call thee Thane of Cawdor, in which addition all hail most worthy Thane. For it is thine.
Can the devil speak true?
The Thane of Cawdor lives. Why do you dress me in borrowed robes? He who was Thane lives yet, but under heavy judgment bears that life which he deserves to lose. Treasons, capital, confessed and proved have overthrown him.
Glamis and Cawdor. Greatest is behind. Thanks for your pains. Do not hope your children shall be kings, when those that gave the Thane of Cawdor to me promised no less to them. That trusted hope might enkindle you unto the crown, besides the Thane of Cawdor, but 'tis strange and awkward times. It wills to our hearts the instruments of darkness. It betrays the most honorable fashion. My cousin, a word, please. Two truths are told. as happy prologues to the swelling act of the imperial theme. This supernatural soliciting cannot be ill, cannot be good. If ill, why hath it given me earnest of success, commencing in a truth I am Thane of Cawdor? If good, why do I yield to that suggestion? Torrid image that fix my hair and make my seated heart knock at my ribs against the use of nature. Present fears are less than horrible imaginings. My thought, whose murder is but yet fantastic, shapes soul by a single state. That function is smothered in surmise, and nothing is what is not.
Look how our partners rap.
If chance will have me king, why? Chance may crown me without my stern.
New honors fall upon you. Like our strange garments, they cleave not to their mold until the use of time.
Come what come may. Time and the hour runs through the roughest day.
Worthy Macbeth, we wait upon your leisure.
Give me your favors. My dull brain was wrought with things forgotten. Kind gentlemen, your pains are registered where every day I turn the leaf to read it. Let us toward the king. Think upon whatever chance we have. And at more time, interim, having weighed it, let us speak our free hearts, each to other.
Very glad.
Until then, come, friends.
Is execution done on Cawdor? Are those in commission not yet returned?
My liege, they are not yet come back, though I have spoke with one that saw him die, who did report that, very frankly, he confessed his treasons, implored your highness's pardon, and set forth on a deep repentance.
There's no art to find the mind's construction in the face. He was a gentleman upon whom I built an absolute trust. O worthiest cousin, the sin of my ingratitude even now was heavy on me. Thou art so far before, the swiftest wing of recompense is slow to overtake thee. Would that thou hadst less deserved, that the proportion both of thanks and of payment might have been mine. Only I have left to say, more is thy due than more than all can pay.
The service and the loyalty I owe in doing it pays itself. Your Highness's part is to receive our duties, and our duties are to your throne and state. Children and servants which do but what they should in doing everything safe towards your love and honor.
Welcome hither. I have begun to plant thee, and will labor to make you full of growing. Noble Banquo, that hath no less deserved, nor must be known no less to have done so, let me enfold thee, and hold thee to my heart.
There, if I grow, the harvest is your own.
My plenteous joys, wanton in fullness, seek to hide themselves in drops of sorrow. Sons, kinsmen, thanes, and you, whose places are the nearest, know that we shall establish our estate on our eldest Malcolm, whom we name hereafter Prince of Cumberland.
The Prince of Cumberland!
Which title must, not unaccompanied, invest him only, but signs of nobleness like stars shall shine on all deservers. from hence to Inverness, and bind us further to you.
The rest is labour which is not used for you. I'll be myself the harbinger, and make joyful the hearing of my wife with your approach. So humbly take my leave.
My worthy Cawdor.
That is a step on which I must fall down. Or else only, for in my way it lies. Stars hide your fires. Let not light see my black and doomed desires. The eye wink, the hand. Yet let that be which the eye fears when it is done to see.
Noble worthy Banquo, he is full so valiant, and in his commendations I am fed. It is a banquet to me. Come, let's after him whose care has gone before to bid us welcome. It is a peerless kinsman.
They met me in the day of success, and I have learned by the perfectest report that they have more in them than mortal knowledge. When I burned in desire to question them further, they made themselves air into which they vanished. Whilst I stood wrapped in the wonder of it, came missives from the king, who all hailed me Thane of Cawdor, by which title before these weird sisters saluted me and referred me to the coming on of time with Hail King that shalt be. This have I thought good to deliver thee, my dearest partner of greatness, that thou mightst not lose the dues of rejoicing by being ignorant of what greatness is promised thee. Lay it to thy heart, and farewell. Glamis thou art, and Cawdor, and shalt be what thou art promised. Yet do I fear thy nature is too full of the milk of human kindness to catch the nearest way. Thou wouldst be great, not without ambition, but without the illness should attend it. What thou wouldst highly, that wouldst thou holily. Wouldst not play false, and yet wouldst wrongly win. Thou'st have, great Glamis, that which that cries. Thus thou must do if thou have it, rather than thou fearest to do, than wishes should be undone. Hie thee hither, that I may pour my spirits in thine ear, and chastise thee with the valour of my tongue, all that impedes thee from the golden round, which fate and metaphysical aid doth seem to have thee crowned withal. What is your tidings?
The king comes here tonight.
Thou art mad to say it. Is not thy master with him? Rousseau would have informed for preparation.
Oh, so please you, it is true. Our Thane is coming. One of my fellows had the speed of him, who almost stood for breath, scarcely had more than would make up his message.
Contending, he brings great news. The raven himself is hoarse, that croaks the fatal entrance of Duncan under my battlements. Come, you spirits that tend on mortal thoughts, unsex me here, and fill me from the crown to the toe, top full of the direst cruelty. Make thick my blood. Stop up the access and passage to remorse, that no compunctious visitings of nature shake my fell purpose, nor keep peace between the effect and it. Come to my woman's breast and take thy milk for gall, you murdering ministers. Wherever in your sightless substances you wait on nature's mischief, come, thick night, and pull thee in the dunnest smoke of hell, that my keen knife see not the wound it makes, nor heaven peek through the blanket of the dark to cry, hold! Hold! Great Glamis, worthy Cawdor, greater than both by the all-hail hereafter. Thy letters have transported me beyond this ignorant present, and I see now the future in an instant.
My dearest love, Duncan comes here tonight.
And when goes hence?
Tomorrow, as he purposes.
Never shall sun that morrow see. Your face, my fame, is as a book, where men may read strange matters, to beguile the time, look like the time, their welcome in your hand, your tongue, your eye, look like the innocent flower, but be a serpent under it. He that's coming must be provided for, and you shall leave this night's great business into my dispatch, which shall to all our days and nights to come give solely sovereign sway and masterdom.
We will speak further.
Only look up clear. To alter favour ever is to fear. Leave all the rest to me.
This castle hath a pleasant seat. The air sweetly and nimbly recommends itself unto our gentle senses. Oh, see, our honored hostess. Herein I teach you how you shall bid God yield us for your pains, and thank us for your trouble.
All our service in every point twice done, and then done double, where poor and single business, to contend against those honours broad and wide, wherein your majesty loads our house.
Where is the Thane of Cornwall? We coursed him at the heel and had a purpose to be his purveyor. But he rides well, and his great love, sharp as his spur, hath holp him to his home before us. Fair noble hostess, we are your guest tonight.
Your servants ever have theirs themselves, and what is theirs, in compt, to make audit at your highness's pleasure, still to return your own.
Conduct me to mine host. We love him highly, and shall continue our graces towards him. By your leave, hostess.
If it were done when 'tis done, then 'twere well it were done quickly. If the assassination could trammel up the consequence and catch with his Circe's success, that but this blow might be the be-all and the end-all here, but here, upon this bank and shoal of time, we'd jump the life to come. But in these cases, we still have judgment here, which we do but teach bloody instruction, which being taught, return to plague the inventor. This even-handed justice commends the ingredients of our poisoned chalice to our own lips. He's here in double trust. First, as I am his kinsman, and his subject, strong both against the deed, then as his host, who should against his murderer shut the door, not bear the knife myself. Besides, this Duncan hath been so weak, hath been so clear in his great office, that his virtues will plead like angels, trumpet-tongued against the deep damnation of his taking off, and pity like a naked newborn babe striding the blast, or heaven's cherubim, horsed upon the sightless couriers of the air, shall blow the horrid deed in every eye, that tears shall drown the wind. I have no spurs to prick the sides of my intent, but only vaulting ambition, which o'erleaps itself and falls on the other. How now, what news?
He's almost supped. Why have you left the chamber?
Hath he asked for
Are
me?
you not he has?
We will proceed no further in this business. He hath honoured me of late. made. And I've bought golden opinions from all sorts of people which would be worn now in their newest gloss, not cast aside so soon.
Was the hope drunk wherein you dressed yourself? Hath it slept since, and wakes it now to look so green and pale with what it did so freely? From this time such I account thy love. Art thou feared to be the same in thine own act and valour as thou art in desire? Wouldst thou have that which thou esteemest the ornament of life, and live a coward in thine own esteem? Letting I dare not wait upon I would, like the poor cat in the adage.
Prithee, peace! I dare do all that may become a man. Who dares do more is none.
What beast was then made you break this enterprise to me? When you durst do it, then you were a man. And to be so much more, you be so much more the man. Nor time, nor place did then adhere, and yet you would make both. They have made themselves, and that their fitness now does unmake you. I have given suck, and I know how tender it is to love the babe that milks me. I would. It was smiling in my face. Have plucked my nipple from his boneless gums and dashed the brains out, had I so swore as you have done to this!
If we should fail,
Fail! But screw your courage to the sticking place and we'll not fail. When Duncan is asleep, whereto the rather shall his hard day's journey soundly invite him, his 2 chains will I with wine and wassail so convince that memory, the warder of the brain, shall be a few, the receipt of reason a limbic only. When in swinish sleep their drenched nature lies as in death, what cannot you and I perform upon the unguarded Duncan? What not put upon his spongy officers, who shall bear the guilt of our great crime?
bring forth men, children only. For thy undaunted metal should compose nothing but males. Will it not be received? We have marked with blood, sleepy too in his own chamber, and used their very daggers that they have done.
Who dares receive it other, as we shall make our grief and clamour roar upon his death.
I am second. And bend up each corporal agent to this terrible feat. Away! And mock the time with fairest show. False face must hide. The false heart doth hide.
How goes the night, boy?
The moon is down. I've not at the clock.
She goes down after 12.
I take it to sleep, sir.
Oh. My sword. This husbandry in heaven. Their candles are all out. The heavy sun lies like lead upon me, and yet I would not sleep. Merciful powers, restrain in me the cursed thoughts that gives way to nature in repose. Give me my sword. Who's there?
Being unprepared, our will became the service to defect, which else should free have wrought. All's well.
I dreamt last night of the 3 weird sisters. To you, they showed some truth.
I think not of them. Yet when we can entreat an hour to serve, we will spend it in some words upon that business if you will grant the time.
At your kindest leisure.
If you shall cleave to my consent when it is, it will make honor for you.
So I lose none in seeking to augment it. But that I keep my bosom franchised and my allegiance clear. I shall be counsel.
Good repose the while.
Thanks, sir. The kind to you.
Go bid thy mistress, when my drink be ready, she ring upon the bell. Is this a dagger which I see before me? The handle towards my hand. Come, let me clutch thee. I have thee not. Yet I see thee still. Art thou not fatal vision, sensible to feeling as to sight? Or art thou but a dagger of the mind? A false creation proceeding from the heat-oppressed brain. I see thee yet. And in form as palpable as this, which now I draw. Thou marshall'st me the way that I was going. Such an instrument I was to use. On mine eyes and me, the fools of the other senses. Or else worth all the rest, I see thee still. And on thy blade and dudgeon, gouts of blood, which was not so before. There is no such thing! It is the bloody business which informs thus to mine eyes. Thou sure and firm set earth, hear not my steps which way they walk, for fear the very stones do prate my whereabouts. And take the present horror from the time, which now suits with it. Whilst I fret, he lifts. Words to the heat of deeds, too cold breath gives. I go, and it is done. The bell invites me. Hear it not, Duncan, for it is a knell that summons thee to heaven, or to hell.
That which hath made them drunk hath made me bold. What hath quenched them hath given me fire. Hark! Peace. It was the owl that shrieked the fatal bellman that gives the sternest good night. He's about it. The doors are open, and the surfeited grooms do mock their charge with snores. I've drugged their possets, that nature and death contends about them whether they live or die.
Who's there? What?
Alack, I'm afraid they've awaked and 'tis not done. The attempt and not the deed confounds us. Maybe the dagger's ready, he could not miss him. Does he not resemble slept, I'd have done it. My husband.
I've done the deed. Didst thou not hear a noise?
I heard the owl scream and the crickets cry. Did you not speak?
When?
Now.
As I descended.
Aye.
Ha! Who lies in the second chamber?
Don't know thing.
This is a sorry sight.
A foolish thought to say a sorry sight.
One did laugh in his sleep, and one cried murder. Murder! And they did wake each other. I stood and heard them, and they did say their prayers and addressed them again to sleep.
There were two lodged together.
One cried, God bless us. And amen the other as they had seen you with his hangman's hands, listening their fear. I could not say amen when they did say God bless us.
Consider it not so deeply.
Oh, therefore can I not pronounce amen? I have most been a blessing and amen stuck in my throat.
These deeds must not be thought of after these ways, so it will make us mad.
Methought I heard a voice crying, sleep no more. Macbeth doth murder sleep. Sleep. The innocent sleep. Sleep that knits up the ravelled sleeve of care, the death of each day's life. Sore labour's bar, the balm of her mind. Great nature's second course, chief nourisher in life's feast.
What do you mean?
Still it cried, sleep no more. To all the heart, arms of murmured sleep. Therefore, Gordon shall sleep no more, Macbeth shall sleep no more.
Who was it that thus cried? I worthy thing you to unbend your noble strength to think so brain sickly of things. Come, let's wash this filthy witness from your hand. Why did you bring the daggers? They must lie there. Go carry them and smear the sleepy grooms with blood.
No, I'll go no more. I'm afraid to think of what I have done. Look up again, I dare not.
Infirm of purpose. Give me their daggers. The sleeping and the dead are but as pictures. 'Tis the eye of childhood that fears the painted devil. If he do bleed, I'll gild the faces of the wounds with all for it must seem their guilt.
This is the knocking. How is it with me? Every noise appalls me. Oh, what hands are here? Oh, they pluck out mine eyes. Will all great Neptune's oceans wash clean the blood from my hand? Oh, rather this my hand shall the multitudinous seas encounter, making the green one red.
My hands are the same colour as yours. But I shame to wear a heart so white. Hark! A knocking at the south entry. Retire we to our chamber. A little water clears us of this deed. How easy it is then. Your constancy hath left you unattended. Hark! Oh, looking, get on your nightgown, lest occasion call us and show us to be watchers. Be not lost so poorly in your thoughts.
To know my deeds were best not to know myself. Ah! Quick, Duncan, would I knock in? I would thou couldst.
lie as a farmer who hanged himself on the expectation of plenty. Come here now. Have napkins and ale about you. There you'll sweater. Knock, 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 knock. Who comes then? Me. Here's a wingless tailor. Come in, Peter. For stealing out of your French hose. Come in, tailor. Here you may roast your goose. Look! No, 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 no. What are you? Eh? Faith. But this place is too cold for help.